Welcome back. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that has become increasingly relevant in modern life, especially with the rise of endless digital content, overstimulation, and declining attention spans. The term is brain rot. You may have seen it floating around on social media, used casually to describe binge-watching, doom-scrolling, or mindlessly consuming hours of short videos. But behind the humor lies a very real and serious psychological pattern that is affecting millions, often without them even realizing it. Brain rot is not a medical diagnosis. It's a modern cultural term that refers to the slow erosion of cognitive function, emotional stability, and mental resilience due to overstimulation, poor digital habits, and lack of deep mental engagement. And while the effects are subtle at first, they compound over time, leading to noticeable declines in mental clarity, motivation, and emotional health. So how can you tell if brain rot is quietly destroying your mental health? In this video, we're going to explore 4 major signs that your brain is suffering from this modern affliction. By recognizing these signs, you can begin to take back control of your mind and re-establish the clarity and energy you need to thrive. Let's begin with the first sign. We often underestimate the importance of focus. In today's hyper-distracted world, most people consider it normal to check their phones every few minutes, toggle between multiple tabs, or scroll endlessly through fragmented content. But when you lose the ability to concentrate on a single task for more than a few minutes, it's not just a productivity issue. It's actually a symptom of deeper cognitive decay. If you find that you can't finish a book, struggle to sit through an entire conversation without reaching for your phone, or avoid starting mentally challenging tasks because they feel too hard, you're definitely not alone. These are all signs that your brain is being conditioned to avoid discomfort and seek instant gratification. This kind of cognitive restlessness rewires your brain's reward systems. Instead of valuing deep, slow, meaningful engagement, your brain starts prioritizing novelty and speed. This leads to surface-level thinking, poor memory retention, and an inability to think through complex ideas. You become mentally scattered, easily bored, and constantly on edge. Why is this so dangerous? Because honestly, sustained attention is essential for problem-solving, emotional regulation, creativity, and personal growth. Without it, your thoughts remain fragmented. You can't form coherent ideas. You struggle to connect dots. Even your self-awareness starts to fade, replaced by whatever content you consumed last. To fight back, you have to begin retraining your mind. Start by setting aside protected periods of time for deep work. Choose one meaningful task each day, reading a chapter of a book, writing a journal entry, working on a skill, and commit to doing it without interruption. Turn off notifications. Use physical books instead of screens. Practice mindfulness or meditation to build the mental muscle required for sustained attention. Like any habit, it takes repetition. But over time, your brain will begin to respond. Focus can be rebuilt, and when it returns, so does your ability to think, feel, and create deeply. Sign 2. You feel emotionally numb or overstimulated, sometimes both. The human brain was not designed to process a constant stream of dramatic, emotional, and conflicting information every waking hour. Yet that is exactly what most people subject themselves to every day. You scroll through videos of global tragedies, followed by absurd comedy clips, followed by hyper-edited videos of other people's perfect lives, then political arguments, personal drama, shocking headlines, and memes, all within 10 minutes. This rapid emotional switching causes a kind of emotional dysregulation. At first, it may make you feel overly emotional, anxious, irritated, overwhelmed. But eventually, something more insidious happens. You go numb, you stop reacting, you lose sensitivity to both good and bad. Your nervous system becomes so overstimulated that it shuts down its ability to process emotion in a healthy, coherent way. And this leads to an emotional flatline. You may notice that you're no longer excited about things that used to bring you joy. Conversations feel dull. Relationships lose meaning. You may feel like you're watching your life through a screen, even when you're not on one. On the flip side, you may also become hypersensitive to minor events. A simple delay in your day might throw you into frustration or despair. You may find yourself emotionally fragile, unable to handle basic life stress without spiraling. This is emotional burnout. It's what happens when your emotional bandwidth is constantly maxed out, leaving you with no capacity to feel or process real, grounded emotions. What can you do to reset? First, take time each day to intentionally unplug from emotional noise. This includes social media, fast news cycles, and emotionally manipulative content. Replace it with slower, richer emotional experiences. Spend time in nature, listen to music that evokes real feelings, engage in deep conversations, or reflect through journaling. And most importantly, allow yourself time to simply feel without the need for distraction. Sit with your emotions, name them, understand them. Emotional health depends on your ability to process feelings without running from them or numbing them. By reintroducing depth and slowness into your emotional life, you restore balance. You begin to feel alive again. You become emotionally intelligent, not reactive, not numb, but responsive and aware. Sign 3. Your inner voice feels hijacked. The most intimate part of your mind is your inner voice, the running dialogue that helps you reflect, interpret, and make decisions. It's your core self, the place where thoughts are formed and beliefs take root. But in the age of constant external input, many people begin to lose touch with this voice. If you notice that your thoughts are increasingly filled with borrowed opinions, catchphrases, or arguments you saw online, that's a red flag. If you find yourself parroting views you haven't deeply considered or changing your mind constantly based on what's trending, it's a sign that your cognitive independence is eroding. When your inner voice gets drowned out by external noise, you stop thinking for yourself. You become a mental echo chamber, bouncing around ideas that don't originate from your own values or experiences. This can lead to deep confusion, identity crises, and a chronic feeling of disconnection from who you truly are. It's important to understand that content is not the enemy, but how you interact with it matters. Are you consuming with intention, or are you being passively shaped by it? Are you analyzing ideas critically, or are you absorbing them unfiltered? To reclaim your inner voice, make it a habit to think before you consume. Reflect in the morning before checking your phone. Write down your own thoughts on a topic before reading what others say. Engage in conversations where you're allowed to explore ideas without judgment or noise. Read long-form content that requires thought and reflection. Most importantly, create quiet. Silence is not emptiness. It's a sacred space where your real thoughts can emerge, where your voice can breathe. In a noisy world, silence is revolutionary. Make time for it every day. When you begin to hear your own voice again, you'll feel more centered, confident, and authentic. You'll stop drifting and start choosing your direction. Sign 4. You're chronically unmotivated even when you care deeply. Perhaps the most heartbreaking sign of brain rot is this. You want to do better, you want to improve, you want to grow, but you just can't bring yourself to take action. You write to-do lists, make schedules, dream of big goals, but then you stall. You waste the day, you scroll instead of starting, and the more you delay, the more discouraged you become. You start to believe something is wrong with you. But here's the truth. This paralysis is not a personal failure. It's a side effect of a brain that's been overstimulated and underchallenged. When your brain is used to instant dopamine from easy, pleasurable content, it starts to reject effort. It begins associating meaningful work with discomfort. It sees slow progress as failure. It wants constant stimulation, not real growth. And over time, this kills your drive. You lose the fire you once had. You become passive. You stop dreaming. Or worse, you keep dreaming but stop believing any of it is possible. How do you break free? You have to rewire your relationship with effort. Start by intentionally doing things that are slightly uncomfortable but meaningful. Things that require focus, creativity, or delayed reward. Clean your space. Cook a meal from scratch. Go for a walk without headphones. Learn a new skill. Write a page of something. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for engagement. Reward yourself not with external validation, but with internal pride. Feel the satisfaction that comes from finishing something hard. Let that be your fuel. Over time, your brain will remember how to work. Motivation will return, not as a burst of inspiration, but as a steady fire that you build each day with intention. Final thoughts. Brain rot is not a joke. It's not just about being lazy or distracted. It's a slow, invisible corrosion of the mental faculties that make life rich, meaningful, and fulfilling. It weakens your ability to think clearly, feel deeply, act intentionally, and connect authentically. And the most dangerous part is, it doesn't feel like it's happening until the damage is done. But here's the good news. Your brain is remarkably adaptable. Just as it can be trained into dysfunction, it can be retrained into strength. You are not broken. You are simply out of alignment. And the path back begins with small, deliberate steps. So here's your challenge. Pick the one sign from today's video that struck you the most. Be honest with yourself. Then take one concrete action today to resist it. Maybe it's reading without distraction. Maybe it's sitting with your emotions. Maybe it's writing your thoughts before consuming others. Or maybe it's simply doing one difficult task without giving up. Whatever it is, do it with intention. Your mind is your most powerful asset. Protect it, strengthen it, use it, and you'll find that beneath the rot, your real self is still there, waiting to thrive again. Thank you for watching. Take care of your mind. The world needs you fully alive.